Hi everybody, TJ Mack Vintage Cards and Nostalgia here. Well, Thanksgiving is coming up, which is my favorite holiday, and like a lot of people, it's a very nostalgic time for me. It always makes me slow down a little and think about what I'm grateful for. And one thing that consistently rises to the top is how much I enjoy collecting vintage sports cards. I love looking at them, displaying them, and learning the stories behind the players and the eras. It's a simple hobby, but it's something that brings a little bit of meaning into my life. Now today, I want to show 4 items, 3 cards, and a magazine that really speak to why I enjoy collecting. The first card I want to show is this 1982 Topps traded Reggie Jackson. This is the last Topps card I needed to complete his base run. This card, it takes me right back to when Reggie left the Yankees for the Angels in January of 1982. I was 7 years old, and at that age, you don't understand free agency or why teams make the decisions that they do. All I knew was that Reggie was my favorite player, the Yankees were my favorite team, and suddenly the two weren't together anymore. Now Reggie had that larger-than-life presence, and this card, it captures that. His confidence, the way he carried himself with those large sunglasses, and I wasn't ready to see him in anything other than a Yankees uniform. But what ended up happening was that I started following the Angels just because he was there. Now, there weren't too many of their games on where I lived. I really only got to see them when they played the Blue Jays or the Yankees. But I would check the box scores often to see what he was doing. I even remember going to the mall and my parents buying me an Angels hat that looked just like this one. It was my little way of sticking with my favorite player. Now looking at this card, it brings all that back. The confusion, the excitement, the hat, and the simple joy of following Reggie no matter what uniform he was wearing. The next item I want to share is this August 1979 Sports Illustrated showing baseball's golden oldies. Now this one brings a different kind of nostalgia, one tied not so much to the magazine itself, but to the whole feel of that era. Now, I didn't own this magazine as a kid, but just looking at it now instantly transports me back to the late 1970s and early 80s. Nostalgia, it isn't always about what we had. It can be about something that reminds us of a time, a feeling, or a mood. And that's exactly what this cover does. The artwork is whimsical and playful. You have Manny Mota, Pop Stargell, Charlie Hustle, Yaz, Phil Niekro, Lou Brock, and Gaylord Perry are all drawn with this long white beard, and they're climbing all over a giant rocking chair like a gang of mischievous uncles. Rose has that shaggy mop of hair, Yaz has that exaggerated nose, and each player's personality is highlighted just enough to make them instantly recognizable. Now the artist clearly had fun with it, and the style feels lively, lighthearted, and full of motion. Now what draws me in most is how the art captures the energy and aesthetic of that era. The soft edges, playful proportions, and bright, cheerful colors. It reminds me of the Saturday morning cartoons I grew up with. It has that same warm, approachable feeling. Fun, imaginative, and just a little exaggerated. The cover evokes the easygoing, playful rhythms and small joys of childhood. Now moving on to card design, the next item I want to show you is this 1955 Bowman Bobby Layne. Now, I've probably had this card for over 15 years, and it's one that steals the show when displayed. Layne is captured here mid-throw, wearing that classic Detroit Lions blue paired with clean silver pants. Behind him is a bold purple background that gives the impression you're looking at football royalty, and he was, as he was the king of the gridiron in the Motor City. Now next to Layne is the old Lions logo from that era, a player running with a roaring lion. Now back then, logos, they were typically not placed on helmets or jerseys, so many of them were very intricate, almost story-like designs, and you really see that with the attention to detail here. Now there's also this white outline around Layne, a signature design element of the 55 Bowman football set. It frames him in a way that almost lifts him off the card, giving the image a sense of motion and presence. Now if you've followed my channel for a little while, you know that Layne is one of my favorites. A true field general whose statistics don't tell the story. He was a man who lived in lore, a leader both feared and loved. Now one of my favorite quotes, and it's one I've shared before about Bobby, comes from Hall of Fame safety and teammate Yale Larry. When Bobby said block, you blocked. And when he said drink, you drank. That line perfectly captures who Bobby Layne was and why this card has so much personality. Here the design and player truly match up. The last card I want to share today is this 1954 Bowman Duke Snider, a card I didn't even plan on getting. It kept popping up in searches, and every time I found myself lingering on it. Eventually one came up at a great price, and I couldn't resist. Many of the 54 Bowmans are known for those beautiful blue skies with the soft white clouds, and this one delivers. But the real magic is how everything clicks together. The blue Brooklyn cap, the Dodgers script across the jersey, the sky behind him, and Duke's relaxed, genuine smile. It feels like the photographer caught him in a moment where he wasn't trying to pose, he was just being Duke Snider. The pink nameplate with the facsimile signature is another small touch that makes the card stand out. It gives it a light, upbeat look. This is one of those cards that just makes you feel good every time you see it. Now, I didn't expect it to become one of my favorites, but that's part of the fun in collecting. Sometimes a card chooses you. As Thanksgiving approaches, I'm reminded why I enjoy collecting so much. These cards and magazines aren't just pieces of cardboard or old paper. They're little reminders of where we've been, what we've felt, and the things that made us smile along the way. Some take me right back to childhood. Others connect me to stories and players I've learned about as an adult. And some just brighten the room when I put them on display. Now, I'm grateful for this hobby, for the memories it stirs up, and for the new ones it creates every time I pick up something and take a closer look. And I'm grateful to share it with all of you. And I hope you and your families have a safe, relaxing, and meaningful Thanksgiving. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me today, and until next time, take care.